Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you like? I tried that Jay-Z. It didn't work at all, but it's all good.
When he was choking.
Yeah. Hey guys, I work with turkeys, but you know what? I love it. Welcome everybody to the BKBK Podcast, where sports and the culture collide, and the New York Jets reign supreme. I'm your host, Brandon Phillips, joined by my fellow co-hosts, Kerry Taylor, Brian Taylor, and Kyle McKenna. We're bringing this podcast to you live from Summit 68 Studios in Red Hook, Brooklyn. The team is back at it again to discuss a plethora of topics and activity in the NFL that could affect our beloved Jets. But first, let's warm it up by acknowledging a few significant events that happened recently in the our hometown of Baldwin, New York. All righty, here we go. That was me, huh?
This is live, baby.
This
is what happens in live.
Yeah, my wife's calling me too live. That's all right.
Yeah.
I'll call you back, sweetie. All righty.
Wow.
So guys, here we go. So speaking about Baldwin, our hometown, right? Go Bruins, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Go Bruins.
There have been some things that happened within the past few weeks in Baldwin that need some recognition here.
Absolutely.
All righty. So first one I'd like to mention, it was Coach Rich Carroll's birthday.
Coach
Yes.
Carroll Sr., as we used to say.
That's right.
Coach
That's
Carroll
right.
Sr.
That's
Can you
right.
bring that up, Mr. Producer? Our lovely Coach Carroll, Richie Carroll.
You might, when we get the asset up here,
There we go.
there was
There he is.
there was also
Bring it back to Coach.
a great resemblance to Sergeant Slaughter.
Bring it back to the first one.
Yeah, we
He loves the BKBK.
Yeah, there it is.
he does.
All right, Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
First of
He's
all,
not going to like what he sees in a little while.
Coach Carroll, we love you. Happy birthday, Coach.
Happy
All right,
birthday.
happy
Birthday,
belated
Coach.
Happy birthday, Coach.
Yep.
Yeah,
One of my first coaches.
Yeah, man. This guy was. Listen, we used to practice goal line, right? And goal line drills. I think my memory's crazy. I think we used to practice goal line like every Thursday. Wednesday.
How do you remember this stuff,
I
man?
don't know, man. I don't know. And
Wednesday
He's
is
got nothing else to think
you
about.
never do goal line on a Thursday because
No.
you're not in full pads on a Thursday.
Right, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So it was a Wednesday deal.
Yes, sir. And we used to practice goal line. And, we'd go low, cut down the linemen so that the linebackers can kind of run through and roam and make tackles.
Right.
So we went low and then cut down the linebackers running around, making the tackles. And then, all right, run it again, guys, run it again. And then Brandon Phillips just stays there on the ground acting like he fell asleep. Hey, Phillips, what are you doing? Quit playing down on the goal line. Get up. Sorry, Coach. Oh, Coach, I'm sorry. So that's a great moment and just a great man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you guys remember when I forget what team we beat, but we drove all the way to his house. I'm not going to say where he lives or what town he lives in.
Yeah.
But we drove all the way to his house, in one of our famed parade kind of caravans.
Yeah.
Pulled up at his house. He had no idea. And he comes out and he was like, he teared up.
He did.
He teared up.
He did.
And I love that. You know,
He
I'm a
was
sensitive big guy.
he was saying, in response to the last podcast, that his kids still remember. They were little kids at the time and remember all the cars pulling up at the house and everything. That was the first parade we ever took on the Parkway.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Because we kept it local, and we said, man, this is Coach. We're going out to see you. And Richie Simonetti was like, hey, guys, I know where he lives. And we went out there.
Yeah.
Simo.
Oh, man. So definitely happy birthday once again, Coach. We love you, all righty? And speaking of another Carroll that we love, your younger brother, head coach Steve Carroll.
Yeah.
All righty, we can pull that up. All righty. Coach Carroll was just, for me, I don't know, man. He's just a fantastic guy. He knew how to really be tough on you and also how to kind of pull the reins back and let you grow as a youth and develop into a good person and a good football player.
For sure.
And, I just have so much respect for Coach Carroll. And you know what? I remember the block that he lived on. You want to know why I remember the block he lived on?
Because you got a family connection there, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
think
Family
so.
connection. I married his next door neighbor. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Scandalous.
Well,
What was his name? Did he play for Baldwin too?
no, her name, my beautiful wife. All right, so yeah, still
we
beautiful
love
too.
Jane.
How about that? Yeah, that's right.
And John Toscano, her older brother, was a member of the 91
Yeah, our teacher.
team.
Yeah.
Number
yeah.
61.
Yep, number 61.
Guard.
Guard, yeah.
And defensive tackle.
Yep.
Does he listen to the podcast?
Yeah, he sure does.
You
And
better.
if he doesn't, come on, Jay. You know what's funny? Before I started dating his sister, I called him John. But now, I'm in the family. It's Jay. So he doesn't go by John, really. Everyone calls him Jay. Yeah.
He
Fun fact.
Yeah, a little fun fact. He's a great dude, man. He's brilliant, too. So
we had a good O-line there. I was actually an O-lineman in that year.
Yes, you were.
With the Peter Alacos of the world.
Yes,
Right.
and
Kyle
the-
sacrificed over
Yes,
there.
he
you know?
did.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, this is why you'll hear me shout out Captain Kyle McKenna still to this day. And we're much older now. I'm not going to say how old we are, all right?
Little older.
Yeah, just a
Everybody
tidbit.
knows.
I'm
But-
the youngest in the room, just by the way.
Please.
Just check.
But you're right.
Check the birth certificate.
So we're growing as a team. We're noticing that we're getting better. We had some deficiencies that Kyle wanted to plug. And Kyle decides to sacrifice playing tight end. And he was starting as a tight end his sophomore and junior year, wearing number 82. Whose number is that?
Mickey Schuler.
Mickey Schuler.
Mickey.
All right. Great jet. And he decides to trade in number 82 and don the number 55 and be an offensive guard for us just so that we can compete on that level of just having a beefier and better offensive line. So he joined myself and Steve Sebastian and Billy Comber and Mike Moan, and you played guard. So you were in between Moan and Billy Comber and held down the left side of the line.
I wasn't the smallest guy on the line.
No, you weren't the smallest. Billy Comber was.
And Mike Moan. Mike Moan was only about 190 pounds. I
Yeah,
think.
right,
yeah.
The big side of the line was your side.
On the right side, yeah.
that
Me and
was the-
Steve. Yeah.
That was the big side.
Yeah.
That was the 47 double H side,
47
not the
double H.
43 double H side.
Yeah. You guys had the 23 counter.
I was the designated trapper, though.
Yes, you were.
Yes.
We ran a lot of the counters.
And we ran a lot of traps at Will Good, who used to be our teammate, and then moved to Freeport.
Yeah.
And then we played against him senior year, and we had to.
kind of dominated.
A little bit.
You know what I mean? Listen, Will, if you're out there, I mean,
No disrespect.
No disrespect, but you should see the film. I still have some of that film. Now, I actually have the whole game, and I have the highlight film, and yeah, I kind of dominated that kid a little
Good
bit.
stuff. Hey, he was a Baldwin Bruin. He wasn't a
Yes,
Baldwin
he
Bruin
was.
anymore.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of Bruins, if we can pull up that next asset, I just want to just congratulate
That's right.
the Lady Bruins, who just won, what is it, the Nassau County basketball?
Long Island
Woo,
Championship.
better than Nassau, baby.
Yes,
the
2
Long
years in
Island,
a row.
2 years in a row. Long Island Championship for the Lady Bruins. So, hey,
yeah. Give it
Clap
up.
it
give
up.
it
They'll
Clap
be
it up.
playing
Is that a
on,
future
on
Bruin down
Saturday
there?
that's a future Bruin
Bruin
right there.
right there,
Yeah.
up at Hudson Valley Community College. They'll be playing on Saturday,
Nice,
10:45 a.m.
Some football connections in here. Coach Catapano and Anthony Bolden, you see up top,
Yes.
who played offensive tackle at Baldwin
Okay.
and then at Temple. I believe he went to Temple.
Yeah,
I think he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
He had a cup of coffee in the Arena League too.
Okay.
He was one of those offensive tackles that was very athletic and could go and play in the Arena League because you got to play both ways in the Arena League. I think.
Yeah, and it's very you got to have good cardio out there.
He was a talented football player.
Yeah.
He was a big, solid left tackle for Baldwin for
What year
about
did
3
he
years. I think he played. I'm going to say like 97, 98. Like he was right after like the Moore and Shippos and Gormson.
Okay.
Yeah. But he might have played on those teams with them too. Those are some good Baldwin teams right there.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, he's my son's. He was my son's JV coach at Baldwin.
Okay.
Nice. So hey, once again, Lady Bruins, great job.
Hats off.
Yeah, hats off. Hats off. All righty. So anything else, Baldwin Bruin wise? Oh, hey, you know what? Let's just. We don't have the assets for this, but I can't just shout out these coaches without shouting out Coach Clemens.
Oh,
Sure. Yeah.
Got to shout out Coach Clemens.
I think we need to devote like a whole segment to Coach Clemens' stories at a later date.
Sayings,
Yes.
sayings and the stories all
yes.
day.
Beach
Yes.
volleyball and stuff like that.
He used to have him and Rikiki used to have. They take their shirts off and see who had the broader back. And Clemens was jacked, and they would stand there. Hey, Phillips, whose back is more jacked? And,
I think between a Clemens and Rikiki spectacle show would
Oh my
definitely
goodness.
be good.
It
We already
was
have.
great.
We only have
Yeah.
one Rikiki asset as of right now.
No.
So
we'll save
we'll
that
see.
for our next
for a
yeah.
future
Sure.
for a future
Yeah.
deal.
But Coach Clemens, love you, man. Great guy. I think he had a birthday recently too, a little bit longer, but great guy, great coach. Yeah. Coach Robertson for me, great guy. I think he was a St. John's product as well.
Yep.
And also Coach Roberts.
Sure.
Yeah. He was great too. So just a lot of fond memories and just uplifting memories of that time. And these gentlemen just made a great impact on all our lives, I'd say.
You know who's the
In a
one coach
positive way.
that never heard another thing from? Maybe this podcast could get him out. Vinny Carvelli. The
strength and
the
conditioning coach.
conditioning
Yeah,
coach that we had
yeah.
For 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Zeno was always really involved in the strength and conditioning too, the dean.
Yeah.
And that's why
Zeno.
we had all the Nebraska,
I see Zeno all the time.
Cornhusker stuff up. We
What
used
about
to
the
have-
trainer?
Dave Markowitz. Dave Markowitz.
Okay, hold on a second.
Oh, boy.
All right, here we go. Let me tell this story. Because every time I see Dave the trainer,
You're chomping at the bit.
yeah, I am. You know what? Because
I saw him in the airport like 2 years ago.
I'm going to put it out there before he has a chance to put it out there before I do.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I know where you're going.
You know where I'm
Oh,
going
wow.
with
Of course.
this, B. Oh, my gosh. All right. JV football. JV football. I'm in the 10th grade, okay? We're playing Freeport at home. It's one of those early September games where it's still hot.
Right.
So temperature's hot. We're out there playing. And, I don't know, every year, ever since I started playing football, there's a moment where I throw up
Wait,
on the
I've
field.
never seen this in any singular game at any level in any sport.
Oh, my gosh.
Go.
It usually happens to me on the practice field where,
Oh boy.
you're conditioning, camp just starts, you're not in the greatest shape yet. Coach always said, get in shape for camp. Don't let camp get you in shape, or else things like this happen. And
Oh boy.
sometimes I wouldn't get in shape for camp, and I'd be throwing up all over the place, getting cramps. Ugh. So this time it's a game setting, and we're playing Freeport at home, and running around, playing, and then like the play's over, and then it's like I just start feeling it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, no. And then before I could even take my helmet off, projectile vomiting
Oh wow.
through the face mask.
Oh.
And Dave the trainer's looking at me like this, like, what's going on?
Right.
Ask Brian. I shoot straight through.
Oh.
Right.
And
Chunks.
and it was like red. I might have had red Gatorade or Kool-Aid or something before. It was chunky and
Like
red
fruit,
and
fruity
orange.
Pebbles.
It looked like
Fruity
fruit.
Pebbles.
Oh my gosh, Fruit Loop.
I
all
remember
the
you
milk.
running off the field.
So I threw up on the field
Yeah.
and then ran off. Dave's waving me off. Phillips. I go off the field, and Dave is cleaning me up. I still have my mask on.
He's
He's
cleaning
spraying
you up.
He's spraying me down because he doesn't want to touch
With
me.
a water bottle.
Oh,
Of
no.
course not.
And there's
Yeah.
bees flying around my
Oh my God.
bees flying around. That's how you know I had something like either sweet to drink or like
Right,
sugary
some
something.
grapefruit juice.
Oh my gosh.
Sugar on your face.
The sugar all in my face, but he's using the water
Right.
and he's laughing at the same time.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Bees
Shippos, because Shippos was our coach that year at
Yeah,
JV,
yeah,
and he's looking at me like, oh gosh. And then we wait like a little while, and then Shippos comes over to me. He's like, hey, Phillips, you okay to go back in? I'm like, yeah, coach, because I had something to prove. I look like a chump
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
And
chump.
Yeah.
chunks.
chump. And then he says, all right, I'm only putting you in one way. What do you want, offense or defense? I said, defense. And then I went in there and I got a sack. Woo! Redemption song. Yeah.
That quarterback hated himself.
Yeah, and
Because
you
he's-
know what?
right.
I sacked him, and then his shirt was lifted up in like the side, and I just wiped my face mask like that. No, I don't know.
That's
You
gross.
breathed on him. You
I don't know.
breathed on him.
You heard of the Magic Johnson rule? That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, man. But there were bees flying.
Make me dry heave over here.
Yeah, it was sour. It was
Somebody
gross.
should make cartoons out of these stories. That we
That
tell.
would be a nice
I could
sketch
see that.
cartoon. Yeah.
No, number 77. With
And
the
this guy
bees sign.
saw it right there. He saw
Oh, it was terrible.
it. It was
He
gross.
didn't give any assistance, did he?
Nah, not at all.
No.
I laughed a lot.
He was like, oh, best friend who? What? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yo, B, you remember that time?
Yeah,
Right.
it was so
You're going to tell
embarrassing.
the story again.
So anyway, Dave, the trainer, every time he sees me,
Absolutely.
every time he sees me,
He says, "Oh, remember that time that you threw up?"
yes,
Yes.
I'm like, and then the thing is, he focuses on the projectile vomiting through the face mask, right? So picture that, right?
Yeah.
And then the bees flying around my face mask. So I'm standing there like this, little kid.
It's a
and
twofer.
and his bees.
And that's bee season right there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
oh, yeah.
early
Yeah.
September, like hot.
They're always out at that time of year.
Word on the streets is that it's not going to be a natural grass facility come sometime soon.
They're going to turf.
Where?
Yeah, there may be like a bond referendum to turf up some of those fields.
For what? For where? For Baldwin?
The high school?
Really?
I don't know.
Is that a good thing or bad? I don't know how.
Well,
the turf
usually what
technology-
happens is the year that you turn it into turf, you have 3 years of terrible football.
Well,
like blown out knees, terrible football.
Like, 0-6 seasons or 0-8
no,
seasons.
I think it's more about like how long it's going to take. I mean, I
to
think
convert it over, yeah.
how many games are they playing on artificial surfaces anyway? They're probably playing half of their games.
No, I'm just talking about superstitiously. I'm not talking about
You're talking
natural
specifically
standard.
about the mojo.
No, I'm just saying.
I mean, you go on fields. There's not many fields that have a crowned field anymore. Remember how like you used to go on a field and it would be like higher up in the middle,
Right, yeah.
so that the rainwater could kind of
drain
off of it.
Right.
Yeah, that field was not a good field when it rained.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
Not at all.
Especially on the sideline areas.
Yeah. They had
Towards
the-
the sideline, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still have that tree in the middle of the field?
And not
No,
in
they
the
took it
middle.
down
it's
when
in-
they
no,
did it.
It's like in the end zone.
In the end zone, yeah.
Yeah.
But they took it down when
Did
they redid the...
Right over by where the B is, the big B.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
it is there.
It's kind of a weird place for a tree.
A little bit.
If you think about it.
It was classic, though.
Yeah, classic, classic.
Classic.
All right, guys. So listen, that felt good, even though I was at the butt of that joke right there. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Hey, what did we say? we're all going to be there at some point.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we are. No, I love it. It's all
Especially
right.
me with my heavy words and stuff like that. Yeah.
Embrace it.
Heavy worded.
He eyed me down right there too.
Loquacious.
All right, but you know what? We need your heavy words for this next segment because
Okay.
what we're going to do now, we're going to go into our next bit of business. We're going to talk NFL talk. We're going to talk the New York Jets. There's been a lot of movement around the league, and there's also been a bunch of combine performances and stuff. The combine is now over. So the last time we spoke about the players the Jets should target, but there's been a lot of movement. And so basically, have we changed our minds of how we're projecting things and what we want for the Jets?
I mean, we were active on the chat between us on, I guess it was Friday, when all of a sudden the NFL looked like a neighborhood fantasy league where
Absolutely.
people were just making trades, back and forth. And then by the time we got to last night, every team in our division had made a trade.
Yeah.
In the Jets division,
Except for the Jets.
except for the
Right,
Jets,
right.
and I don't know if I'm upset about that. You know, I felt like one way or another about it the other day when it seemed like we were the Jets were the only people that weren't doing anything. But you know, looking at what's out there now, I think that there's some people that I still think that we should be pinpointing, especially the Honey Badger out of the Cardinals. Gotcha. You know, we talked a little about Richard Sherman and the possibility about that when we were texting earlier in the week, but the injury history scared pretty much everybody at the table away with the Achilles issues and stuff like that. Would that be the consensus between you guys? That
Sherman?
Yeah, with Sherman.
Oh, yeah,
I think it's that, and it's his age.
Absolutely.
I'm really big time on this youth movement. So.
I mean, we're getting really down to where the 29 is considered old, you know, now I guess. But
depends on the position.
Yes,
I mean, but cornerback definitely where speed is ultra important. Then 29 is definitely not where
somebody like Terrence Newman is like going on 40, and he's still like a relevant free agent even. So he might even sign. I don't know if he's going to sign with somebody for any money, but.
I mean, if you're on the verge of winning, or if you're right there and you're a playoff team and he's going to make the difference and cost you less money than somebody else, then potentially that's somebody that you would target because he definitely still has skills and he can cover people. But for us, where we are, unless we get something significant in free agency, I don't see us being a playoff team next year, or it would be very hard for us to be. It would be a surprise for us to be a playoff team next year. To bring on somebody like Newman, who's, I don't know, seems like you said he's 45.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I wasn't really suggesting that.
If we're bringing in Cousins, we better be a playoff team immediately. We're going to spend $30 million on one player. We better be a playoff team immediately.
Well, it's a big if. So that's all. It's a big if.
The sand in the hourglass gets a little smaller when you bring in somebody like Cousins, because then you're making like a more older veteran player type of agenda. Mm-hmm. But the reason I like the Honey Badger in free agency is because...
Can we bring up the Honey Badger asset? Nope. Yeah, we go.
That's the Team Honey Badger thing right there. And then we picked out the picture that has the one that he most is making that face.
Man, those claws.
I'm concerned about him, though, in terms of
we can go
him in.
To the next picture of our football player that looks like the Honey Badger.
Okay. Well,
there we go.
What I'd say to those concerns is, okay, the things that I think he has going for him most in a fit with the Jets is that he's been coached by Todd Bowles before. So Todd Bowles was the guy that brought him along with Patrick Peterson and those other guys at the Cardinals when he was the defensive backs coach and defensive coordinator there. He also is family with Todd Bowles. He has a child with Todd Bowles' stepdaughter.
I get that.
That's a couple removed, but so there is a connection there that I think, he hasn't had any incidents or anything like that since the college stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
He kind of cleaned up.
He was mentored by Peterson.
Yeah.
What are your concerns, though, Kerry? I mean,
where's he going to play?
I mean, he'll play inside. He'll play in the slot. It's in Todd Bowles' defense. I mean, they have three safeties that play a lot, and he can play tight end, slot, and all of those things, just like he plays with the Cardinals.
Yeah, he can play man coverage too.
Is he a better safety or cornerback?
He's a better safety.
Yeah,
to me, he's a better safety.
He's played more reps at safety in that defense, but I think that if there's anybody that knows how to play him, it's Todd Bowles.
That's true. I mean, we kind of had a glut of defensive linemen as well, and that didn't work out for us. They never became a dominant sack exchange type of D line that we were hoping for and expecting.
Because they were all playing out of position. They
were. I felt like Sheldon Richardson is more of a Warren Sapp type of guy. He's more of like a 3-technique interior tackle, and they had him out as an end, and sometimes they'd stand him up. And I'm like,
they drop him in coverage.
I know. Yeah, I never liked that.
Makes no sense.
So either change the defense around to a 4-3, or keep it as a 3-4, but don't put people out of position. So I don't know. I think we kind of made some not so smart moves with Sheldon Richardson. I think he's a really, really good football player. So
he might be back on the Jets before we even do another podcast.
I hope so, but
that's because that's a possibility.
So I don't. I
mean, I like Sheldon, but he was a distraction, and that's part of the reason why we traded him. And to bring him back, he still is a distraction. He's somebody that's always in front of a camera, always on the microphone or whatever, and talking about things that we don't need to be talking about. He's talking about Brandon Marshall. It's just not what we need to be on at this point in time. We have
Listen,
a good locker room, and I want to protect that.
Anyone that's always in front of the camera or always on the microphone. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Okay. I just had to say a stupid joke. Sorry.
No. But I mean, I think. Listen, I think he's a heck of a player.
Yeah.
Heck of a football player. I like his attitude. He comes lunch pail type guy who always comes and always gives effort. However, again, that's the other piece where we have a locker room, we have the culture right now that we're building, and it's something that we want to protect. I don't think that he's the player at this point in time that we need to bring in.
And I think to piggyback on what you're saying, I think part of the reason that the Jets did not, make some of these trades that were made even within our division is because they want to make sure that the assets that they acquire are high character assets, that not somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
To sort of stay within that parameter of we got rid of certain players because they were a problem in the locker room. So in order to make sure that we don't have that problem again, then we're going to choose our own.
Well, can I tell you how I felt? I mean, can we go to the picture where I could tell you how I felt over the last couple of days with the lack of trades there?
Okay, so we
couple
can move
pictures
on
back.
to our next asset. We can just go backwards, actually.
I think it's maybe 3 back.
Okay.
No,
Oh boy,
that's forward.
Nope.
That would be forward.
Nope.
Forward again. Back.
Which one are you looking
There you go. Oh, you just passed
It's
it.
the illustration.
Ooh, is that Coach Rich?
Too far back.
Right there.
There we go. Yeah.
Come on.
There
Come
we
on.
go. Come on.
Do something.
And the stick is pointing at the Jets.
Right.
The stick
Like,
is-
come on, do something, man. Move on. Like, come on. That's kind of how I felt with all these trades going back and forth. And I get it with some of the character issues, which is some of the reasons why some of these players are going back and forth. But, man, Marcus Peters, I mean, that could have been something
What
we
they
could have
gave
done.
up? What did they give up for him? And
No,
were we willing to give that up?
Yes.
They gave up a lot. They gave
No,
up
they
a lot.
didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Not for Marcus
No,
Peters.
they didn't.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
I don't think any
Pull
of
it
these
up.
trades gave up that much.
I think
No,
they
he
gave
didn't.
him a fourth.
And to the point where you sent something, and we were talking about McCagnon getting a second-round pick for Sheldon,
Yeah.
whereas none of the other players that got traded, including Peters, went for a second. So that was like a third or fourth round pick. That
There was
Peters
multiple
went for.
picks, but neither one of them were assets. The
You would have done it in a
level-
second. And I think in the thread you said in a second, based on the fact that we knew what the trade compensation was, you were like, man, we should have done that.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't want to do everything. I don't want to be all over the place and act like we don't really have a plan per se, but I felt like Cleveland got better.
So
without
the issue
data.
that you have with it is specifically that the price that these guys could have been gotten at, we didn't jump at, and
Correct.
we should have paid. No,
Correct.
that's the kind of the way I interpreted it.
Oh, absolutely. And he fits our plan based on age, based on talent level, based on the amount of money that that he gets paid, right? From that perspective as well. And I don't know if we were in the conversation. I don't think we will ever know if we were in the conversation. But man, if we were, and that was what they were asking, I mean, push the button.
Do you think our hesitation or perceived hesitation is because we want to go all in with Cousins and we're waiting to see what happens there before we make any more deliberate moves? Because we've had no activity, just like everyone else in our division is making moves but us.
All in on Cousins means we still have a lot of money left.
That's what I'm saying. And remember, I put in that thread.
Right.
I think I heard, and our audience can confirm. They can hit us up and let us know on BKBK Podcast. Is it a league rule that we have to spend at least 80% of our cap space each year?
There's a percentage. I don't know what that percentage is.
Yeah.
Because I do know that the stuff that you don't use rolls into the following year, which is
Right.
one of the reasons why we have so much money to spend
Exactly.
right now.
Exactly.
But I don't know if it's 80%, to be honest with you.
Gotcha. There's some number on it. I'm just not sure what it is, but I think that rule is a true rule.
Well, let's definitely bring up the fact that the legal tampering period begins at 12:01 a.m. tomorrow. Right? So we will know what their plans are early as far as that is concerned. And we should see some news over the next 24 to 48 hours as far as that's concerned. And listen, if we're not going to be in on Cousins, and it's not going to happen, let's move on quickly.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that kind of annoys me about the fact that he wants to visit this one and that one and that one. Ultimately, you know right now, Kirk Cousins, where you want to go. Just go there. If it's the Jets, come in, let's sign a contract, let's move on and do whatever else we want to do. It's the Vikings, go there so we can focus 100%, 200% on whatever else we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about the Jets saying, well, this is what we're going to offer you, and we're not going to go any higher, and then saying, that's it. And if he does not accept, then we move on. You know, it's not about him dictating to us, well, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to do all of this. If that's the way that you think that it should be approached, then that's the way it should go. You know, in order for us to make other decisions, you know, more so instead of losing out on some of the other free agents that we know we want to sign.
It's going to play out. This is my prediction. I think it'll be Cousins to the Vikings, Case Keenum to the Broncos, and then Teddy Bridgewater or Sam Bradford will be the choice of guys that we have. However,
And McCarron too.
now you have to factor in that Buffalo is in that same
I'm
game.
going to throw up in my
Yes.
mouth right now.
So, and they're in our division, so they're going to compete even harder. Yeah.
Buffalo is going to get one of those veteran guys, and maybe even
Trade up
drafting
above
a guy.
us. They may try to trade with Indy.
Yeah.
Indy's got the third, and they're going to want to jump up ahead of Denver and us because we both need quarterbacks. And I doubt they'll be able to trade up with the Browns or the Giants. But who knows, right?
Who knows?
But
That's why they play the game.
now we have to worry about Buffalo. So we thought we were sitting fairly pretty at 6, but we're not. If you're saying that you're nervous about the 6th pick in the draft, you have every right to feel that way.
Listen, I this is what my problem is over the last, I don't know, however long I've been a Jets fan. You can throw the Knicks in there too. What we end up doing is that we play well enough to not get a good enough draft pick. So we end up right on the cusp of being out. Steph Curry with the Knicks, right? You know what I mean? A pick away,
Right.
and some of these other things with the Jets as well, where we end up picking 6 this year. And I know we had a whole conversation about 5 and 11 and how we felt good about that and all those other things.
It was real.
But where does that put us? At number 6. And now, if we were the Giants per se, and we right, the Giants, and I hate the Giants. They oh my God, I and not Giants fans, don't get me wrong, like
When they lose, they win still.
right. When you guys are the luckiest ever. Yeah. You don't have a really terrible roster. You get injuries. I mean, they have issues, but they made the playoffs the year before. They end up stripping the whole thing, and they get the number 2 pick. I mean, that's just I can't fathom that.
Their issues can be solved
Right.
easily.
Correct.
Because all they have to do is to address their O-line, which they can do completely in free agency.
Absolutely.
And you know what? The Giants have not had...
Well, not completely, because you have the tackle, and there's not really a left tackle that's out there that I would say.
Flowers?
Yeah, you got to replace him.
Well, you can replace him, or you can shift him over to guard or something. That's what they usually do with
But
an
you
ineffective
still
tackle.
need to figure out the left tackle spot, and I don't
Yes,
think you
you
can
do.
do that in free agency this year. That's
They
what I'm
owe
saying.
Eric Flowers
That-
a lot of guaranteed money.
That's fine. And so then fine, you should keep him. But I think they can get themselves a center, and they can get 2 guards. They can re-sign Justin Pugh, who is also a highly regarded guard, and they can draft a guard or whatever it is. But basically, it's not so broken that they cannot put healthy Band-Aids on it in free agency.
Norwell, which is one of their
Love Norwell.
primary
That's
people
like my
they can
number
go
one
after.
guy, yeah.
Absolutely. So they can do that,
They can
and then
do
they can
that.
draft the other guard if they wanted to do that,
Right.
and kind of get back to maybe fall back and
Right.
trade the 2 for like a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Still get the other guy from Notre Dame, the guard from Notre Dame. And,
Absolutely.
And then they have the 2 guards, which is what I want to do for the Jets, by the way.
Me too.
If we end up with Kirk Cousins, I would love to do that and then draft a center. Because that was your plan. I know I'm going to give you credit to that.
Yeah.
Credit to Kerry.
I was with you, though. I was with you.
Saying.
But
For that.
Billy Price is out of the picture now because he tore his pec.
He
That's
may not
true.
be out of the picture.
But you know what?
I would still draft him in the 2nd round. I'd pick him up.
He's not the only center. They have a center from Arkansas
Plenty of
who's a
centers.
warrior.
It's
Plenty
a
of
peck.
centers.
I would
Right.
sign him. I would pick him up in the 2nd
And then
round.
another-
Are
In a
you
minute.
thinking that your center is going to be your starting center next year?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, if it's Billy Price, he's not going to be your starting center next
Not
year.
It doesn't have
but
to.
I would still pick him up.
And what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be Billy Price. There's a Warrior out there for University of Arkansas, and there's another one at Iowa.
Yeah,
Both
absolutely.
highly regarded
Absolutely.
centers.
I like the Iowa guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I liked him before Billy Price kind of tore his pec.
Yeah.
So
But to
And-
address your
Concern.
what you were talking, your concern with regard to the Jets and the fact that we are, mired in mediocrity, it's the quarterback position. The Giants are in that position because they still have a quarterback,
Sure.
and they have somebody that can be sitting in the wings that potentially could take over. So yeah, they might have stunk it up last year. They still have assets that they can use. They have a good receiving core. They can draft a quarterback. Draft a running back in the second or third round, and slot him right in. They can pick up a lineman in the first round and do well.
But we
by
discussed-
putting Flowers on the other side. Again, I don't want to wax poetic about how the Giants are going to be back in the playoffs next
'cause
year.
who cares?
Right, because who cares? But the point that I'm making is that the fact that they still have a quarterback on the roster that is a viable option,
Right.
and that is a winner,
Right.
makes all of the other mistakes secondary.
That might be a Hall of Famer.
Hence my struggle with it,
Yeah.
because we had the conversation earlier. We could miss out on Cousins because we picked 6, miss out on all of the top quarterbacks because they get picked and people leapfrog us, and then what are we left with?
The cornerback from Ohio State.
and then watch Saquon Barkley have a 12-year career for the New York Giants.
Hall of Fame.
Oh, my
yeah,
goodness.
Yeah.
But they'll have to pay him, right? And they'll have to draft a quarterback eventually.
Eventually, but not
Right.
now, like 2 years down the line,
Right.
because I think Eli's got 2 more years. And just to add on to what I was saying, we could fix, not we, but the Giants could fix that O-line problem serviceably well. And then on the other side of the ball, they haven't had good linebacking as like a crew of linebackers since like the LT days. But they just got that guy Ogletree, who
Absolutely.
I think he's awesome.
Great
So if they-
pickup.
Yeah, awesome
trade.
pickup.
Good trade,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So if they address the O-line and they put some good linebackers back there, they're good. They're good. I think that they can go on and start winning again. There's great tight end, great receivers, Hall of Fame quarterback, solidify the O-line. You still have good players on defense, and just back them up with some more better linebacking play. Forget about it. They're
I
right
think
there.
we're in a good spot at 6. I still think we're in a good spot at 6. We can still sign a free agent quarterback, right? If we do not get the quarterback that we want
Teddy.
at 6. Again, Teddy or
Teddy,
whoever else.
Teddy and I don't think it's a Teddy or.
It's a Teddy and.
I think
right.
it's a Teddy and.
Yeah, it's Teddy and
And
whoever
McCown.
else.
And
It
McCown.
could be
And
Teddy
McCown.
and Cousins. Honestly,
hate this plan.
now, but
I don't like Cousins.
but again, we
this
still
plan.
we still have options, guys.
Yeah.
And I don't want us to sit here and lament because we're at number 6 and people might jump over us. We have to
I'm
to
a
acquire
lamenter.
assets and
I'm
keep
sorry, I'm a
and
lamenter.
keep the
I
assets
lament.
that we have. I'm not trying to trade up to number 4
No.
or number 2
No.
or number whatever. I'm not doing that. I think that they should stay right where they are and pick the best player available. And if it ends up being the guard at 6 because all of those other quarterbacks have been picked, then I'm fine with that. Then what I would say is, okay, then we're going to trade back in and try to see if we can get Lamar Jackson.
I wore the Notre Dame hat today for Quentin Nelson.
Yes, Quentin Nelson.
And Mike McGlinchey.
Mike McGlinchey.
I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out, like, what was the
like a guy that
tackle?
played in the
tackle?
70s.
He's the tackle.
Yeah.
He's Matt Ryan's cousin.
Oh,
is
they're
he?
saying that on the combine.
Wow.
So he has pedigree too. When's the last time a Notre Dame football player got picked in the first 10 picks? Because I was thinking about that this morning, and I don't think it's
Rocket Ishmael.
I was about to just say that.
You know, it's
that
been a while.
linebacker would have a few years ago if he didn't get hurt.
That's
but-
right.
Oh,
that's right.
he
yeah.
broke
He
his,
would have, but he didn't.
But,
his
but
leg
he
or something?
didn't. Yeah,
Right.
His knee. I'm talking his knee.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't think of the
Playing for
last.
the Cowboys now.
I can't
Jason
think of the
Smith or
last
something
person.
like that. Jalen Smith.
Manti Te'o didn't go.
No,
in
not the
that
first.
Yeah, he's
10
actually
picks.
pretty good now with the
He's
Saints.
not bad.
It took him a while.
He's matured into his role.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
definitely.
after he got catfished.
He's not a. He did a
I
very
hate
public
getting
catfish.
catfished.
I hate that. I hate when that happens.
He's more of
I just catfished you.
he's more of a pass coverage linebacker than he is a run defender, though. He's more of a.
Look, everybody's
a
got a
fleet of
role.
foot.
Know your
Yeah,
role.
man, know your
The
role.
new tweener.
That was kind of always his role at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
He wasn't like
he's a hustle
heavy
guy. He's chasing people
hitter.
Yeah.
sideline to sideline.
He's like a weak side linebacker that can run that field and yeah.
He's not an edge.
No, he's not an edge. He's not an edge.
So we
Talk about the edge thing that we were talking about.
were
off
talking
camera.
about that earlier. Like, there's this new position that probably Mike Mayock made up.
That's
he's
so mean.
Mike. Well, I'm not being mean to Mike Mayock.
Yeah,
Mike
but, you know.
Mayock he's out there. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's way out there,
He's like,
buddy.
I love this guy. I love his
Everybody.
upside. And he probably made up the edge position, and now all of a sudden we're looking at every website, and there's linebackers, and then there's edge.
Why does it have to be capitalized?
Edge
too?
is the guitar
It's
player.
like
in
always-
caps.
Caps, it's
too, right?
all caps.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is that? There's nothing else. There's no other position.
it's an
It's all
acronym.
caps. Huh?
Maybe it's an acronym.
Maybe it's an acronym, huh?
Maybe it's an acronym.
What? All right, look. Think fast, guys.
I don't know.
Exceptional.
Different.
Don't do it. We got other things we got to cover.
Yes.
You know what? I should
We don't
say
wanna make
exceptional. I
ourselves
keep it
look
in the
stupid.
Football context, yeah.
Yeah, that's something. That's something.
We don't need assistance.
We'll let that marinate a little bit. But we were saying how like they used to call people tweeners, and those
Yeah.
tweeners are now the Darren Lee types that are more like a safety than a linebacker.
That was a term back in the
playing
90s.
on
Now
the
they call
line,
them
yeah.
edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tweener.
Tweener. He's a tweener. You don't say that anymore.
Malapalo.
What's J.J. Watt's brother's name? The one that's at Pittsburgh. He's kind of a tweener.
Something
guy.
right.
Yeah.
He's a decent player, too.
He's in the league now, though.
Very
right?
well.
Oh yeah, he's
Had a great year.
good.
Great
Oh,
year.
Pittsburgh. I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, man. So, who impressed you guys during the combines?
Well,
Anyone?
Saquon.
Sure.
Saquon's legit.
Who didn't he impress?
Yeah.
Right? There's
Absolutely.
a sleeper running back for some people that was at the combine that I've seen play a lot because he's local. Is the guy Chase Edmonds from Fordham?
From Fordham, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Local
they brought him
They
up.
highlighted
Yeah,
him. Yeah.
He was he ran a 4.5.
Okay.
And he caught the ball well in the drills and stuff like that. So he's somebody to watch. I don't know if he'll be a drafted guy.
Right.
Probably be a UFA.
Right.
But he was incredibly productive in his years at Fordham.
Okay.
So that's another. He impressed me running. He was definitely in the right company.
Right.
Being invited to the combine. But the Shaquem Griffin guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that combine was ridiculous.
Yeah. That's
That's the linebacker.
That's
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
guy that has the hand that
One
they
hand.
fully
And his
formed.
brother's in the league already. He's
Yep.
a corner.
I think his brother plays for Jacksonville. Is that what they said?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that 40. I had to watch it twice. I was like, look at this kid move.
4.38.
4.38.
He's
And
one of
look at
those
his
tweener
first
guys.
jump when he just got out the block. Like it was like high knee already. It was just. I was like, this kid, wow.
Yeah, Tammy Sobel is chiming in on the chat. She
What's up, Tam?
First of all, she does not think that Brandon. She doesn't agree with the fact that you could rebuild the entire offensive line for the Giants in free agency. But
You can put a nice size Band-Aid on it there, Tam. So
she also
I
gave
agree with
us-
her. That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
can't. The tackles are your problem. So there are no tackles out here right now that you can replace. If you get rid of Flowers or whatever, or switch them to guard, that's fine. But again, you can't solve all the ills. Inside, yes, you can build through free agency and the draft, the center position and both guards. But the tackles, problem.
She
Who's
was
the highest
helping us,
rate?
too.
Who's the highest rated free agent
Tam.
tackle? What's his name?
free agent tackle?
Yeah.
Nate Solder?
Right.
Yeah.
Go sign him.
They sold a converted tight end.
Right. It's not. It's
Because he's athletic.
he's
you
the
need
top
that
rated.
back.
He's a top rated tackle. That doesn't mean he's a top.
Again, we're
tackle.
talking about the Giants. I ain't talking about the Giants, man.
It's not Tam.
It's done.
It's Alan Sobel.
It's Alan
logged in
Sobel.
as
Yes,
Tam.
as Tam, because
Funny.
he's not on Facebook.
funny.
What up, Al? You know?
I bought a Nintendo off Al Sobel.
Oh, you did?
in like 7th grade. Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. It worked.
Funny.
I think he gave me some games with it too.
Oh, he did?
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Al's a great guy, man. Al Silva.
Lloyd Holst checking in. I see Lloyd
Lloyd?
Holst.
Yeah.
Lloyd Holst watching.
What's up, number 70? Woo!
That's right.
Lloyd
That's
Holst.
We were watching on Facebook the Mike Eel screen from Valley Stream Central
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
with the Lloyd Holst. It's
Blocking the back. He destroyed that kid, too. The kid walked out with back spasms.
Valley Stream Central thought they were going to beat us that day
They
too.
did.
Yeah.
They did.
They left unhappy.
They did. They sure did. Mike Eel took over, man. He did his thing.
But then they wrote the article in the paper and it was all about the female kicker on the other team.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, I was trying to block that
Didn't
kick
sit
so bad.
Well, I mean, I
So
don't.
mean.
Look, for the record, I have
Football,
no,
baby.
I have no problem with that. But I just didn't like the fact that we dominated them in the second half, and they didn't write anything about that in the paper.
That's true. That's
was-
true.
well,
Yeah.
You know, International Women's Day was the other day.
I had a sack. I had him in the grasp, and then they should have called it in the grasp, but then the quarterback was like basically on his knees, and he threw the ball, and Hodges picked it off and rolled in the end zone. So that really was our jump start to really get us going in that game
That
as
is
well.
exactly.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was the play
yeah.
that did it.
Yeah, and then, of course, Mike Eel's screen that he took for like 70 yards for a TD or whatever.
And it was totally one of those like everyone's looking at Eugene Colbreth, and then we're gonna
right.
pop it off to Mike Eel.
Yep.
Squid.
No slouch himself.
Nah, love 47. Number 47, Mike Eel. Squid, a.k.a. Squid. That's the greatest nickname, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
For like a slippery running back. That's great. That's great.
It was a good name.
Yeah,
Went on to play at Dartmouth.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
Can we talk about another small college recruit, Kyle?
Yes.
Laletta.
Oh yeah,
From Richmond quarterback.
QB,
So,
huh?
somebody that needs to be on everybody's radar. He had a good All-Star game, college All-Star game. I forgot which one it was.
It was the Senior Bowl.
Senior Bowl, whatever. Did very well there. Accurate quarterback, and somebody that we might want to look at as a project in draft later on if Kirk Cousins comes into the fold.
So you want to draft another quarterback
late
after
round.
the first round?
No. If we have Kirk Cousins, if Kirk Cousins is not there, I'm not looking at him.
And you want our general manager to draft this quarterback?
I want him to listen to me and me to be the general manager, and then I draft him, but he actually does the drafting.
You
I
sound
think
like
that's
the
how
bad,
he sounds.
he sounds like the South African bad guy in Lethal Weapon.
Wakanda forever.
Absolutely. Let's go. However it happens, let's make it happen. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Now you sound Bijan.
I'm very worldly. I've been everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
So anyway, I mean, again, that's only if we get Curdy Cousins.
There's going to be three. There's going to be 3 to 4 quarterbacks on this roster, no matter what.
What about that guy,
And it's
Rudolph?
not going to be anybody probably from last year. Although they're trying to hype up that Hackenberg has fixed all
Negative.
his,
Everything.
Negative.
Fixed it all.
I believe it when I see it.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm hoping for the best. Listen, I just want the best for the Jets, and hopefully he does. But I don't really believe it. I'm gonna have to believe it. I'm gonna have to believe it when I see it.
He seems like a good guy too. Like I heard he's really professional, hardworking, and stuff like that. It's
Just deer in the headlights. It looks like a little doe.
And you know what? He probably fell behind because of all the turmoil and everything at Penn State because he came out as a freshman doing really, really well. And then they went through like sanctions and this and that probably hindered his development. O'Brien left.
Well,
So
the
he wasn't able to
O-line
progress.
situation at Penn State was really bad. He got sacked like more than any other quarterback in college.
Yeah,
too.
because they couldn't bring in
Yeah.
quality recruits.
When they also said part of that was his fault, holding on to the ball. So
You got to coach that out of him.
but you see that in the league right now with him and the ball, right? I mean,
And it wasn't coached out of him.
Right. So,
you know,
Well,
the
that
obvious
means-
question
well,
is,
yes, I mean,
right,
I'm not making an excuse, of
Right.
course. Like you got to perform, but
right.
I hear what you're saying.
I mean, the obvious question to me is, well, did the Jets hamper his development?
Well,
No, we just didn't draft the right people. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
And it
So
has been.
had we have picked him up in the third round, how would we have these conversations about him?
No, I'd say if we picked him up in the 5th round, where he was
He was
originally
not
projected
projected to go to the 5th round.
4th and 5th.
Yes, he was.
4th and 5th.
Well, definitely wasn't the second.
It
Definitely
wasn't the
was not
second. I think it was like the third round.
I think it was
End
the
of the
fourth.
third round. They were saying.
no, you guys are revisionist history. Yeah, he totally was. He was a first-round draft pick that dropped
No way!
With like a
He
month,
was.
with like a month before the draft.
No, not the month, but no, he was a first-round draft pick going into the year prior.
Right, into the year prior.
Right, and then he had a miserable season, and then he dropped into oblivion.
Third round. It wasn't the fourth or fifth
we
round.
brought him out of wherever and said, "Oh, second-round draft pick."
We
Let's
were
go.
obviously.
How dare you call me a revisionist, Kyle McKenna?
We were the team that was the most in love with him.
Right.
Because
And
you
we
could see
showed
McCagnon
that.
at his pro day,
Yep.
you know, like making all kinds of notes in the background, and he was in every shot.
Wait. Let's get a single on Brian over here.
Oh, wow.
Is that McCagnon face?
Oh, absolutely. It's like, come on, man, what are you doing?
Well,
man.
if you're going to keep him on a team and he's going to compete with somebody like a Loletta is going to come in,
Right.
And then he's going to beat that guy out, then it's a different thing. You got to remember, the quarterback coach is now our OC, so it's not like we've changed that guard there really. It's the same people that were developing Hack 2 years ago, are still there right now. So it'll be interesting to see how they roll that out. But there'll be 4 quarterbacks, and then there'll be 3.
Yeah.
Right.
And
What do you guys think about that quarterback Rudolph? There's been some talk about him as
I
well.
liked him in college. I thought he's more of an NFL style quarterback than
Not
somebody-
mobile though.
No.
Yeah, he's kind of like.
That's fine. I
Big
mean,
arm.
Tom Brady's
Yeah.
not mobile. I mean, you just have to be able to move around in the pocket. You got to know where you are in
Yeah.
the pocket. That's all.
Yeah.
Everything gets accelerated in the NFL. Like every level that you go on, from high school to college to NFL.
Yeah,
So
it
if
jumps.
you have bad accuracy in high school, you're not going to get good accuracy in college. If you have bad accuracy in college, you're not going to get it in the NFL. It's like you got to be more precise in everything. All your
Which
T's
is the reason.
crossed and I's dotted.
Which is the reason I want to stay away from Josh Allen. Everybody, and this
That's
is
fine with me too.
Oh my gosh! So when I listen to sports radio, all they're talking about is how again McCagnon is enamored with Josh Allen.
See, McCagnon, that's the problem. This is why you get under our skin, man.
That's what I'm saying. The dude
So
is inaccurate.
if he was there at 6, you wouldn't say, okay,
no,
good
he's
job.
sliding past me at 6. Sorry, he's sliding
too.
past me at 6.
Me too.
No way.
Me too.
Kyle, anybody else?
I would-
Somebody's drafting this guy.
If he's there at 6, you got to take him at 6.
Hold on.
I
If
kinda
he's
like
there at
Josh
6
Rosen
and there's
better
no other
than him.
QB left,
I definitely like Josh Rosen.
so
better
do
than him.
I
For
do
me,
too.
it's
But if
Baker
he's there at
Mayfield.
6, if he's there at 6 and nobody else is there, you're not
Why?
taking him.
Why are
No,
you taking him?
I'm not taking him.
What about is it I can throw the ball a long way, 99 yards? So what? That's not in the NFL playbook.
No, it isn't.
It's not. What it is accuracy,
Not
and
doing
he is
it.
not. It's like 53% is his accuracy for his college career.
Now, here's the one
You
argument.
can't coach that up. You can't coach that through mechanics.
You can, because they're saying that Matthew Stafford had a similar accuracy rate. But you know what? With our luck, all right, we're going to roll the dice in the wrong direction. And then I'm going to throw somebody in the bedroom.
Yeah, well, Josh Allen is very antsy in the pocket. That's some of the stuff that I've seen on film.
Yeah.
Whereas like he'll roll out and get out of situations that he could probably stick in.
Stick in the
Right.
pocket
and,
to do
and like we were talking about earlier, throwing people open, not
Right.
waiting for people to be open,
Right.
is a big difference.
That's the
between
NFL,
them.
yeah.
I would tend to agree with you. Like the thing that sold me on Rosen was the second half of, I believe it was Oklahoma State.
You're talking about
that
the
they were
game,
playing.
right? You're talking about the game.
The game that he came back.
Yeah.
And,
Crazy.
And it was like he willed that game to win. There was another receiver
I'm talking about.
on
That's the
UCLA that was really good in that game too. I think he was a tight end, like a
Yeah.
Kellen Winslow looking guy. But they came back with 31 down in that game, and you never doubted it.
That's what I
That's
want.
the kind of guy I want too, And Baker Mayfield has that swagger.
And he can
But-
will a win, too.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield is a short quarterback with a release that's like not an over the top release. You look at Drew Brees' release and he comes over with it. It's not sidearm as much as it is. It's just from his shoulder.
A different slot.
Yeah, so
Different slot.
that's I worry about that a little bit. You don't see a lot of batted down Baker Mayfield passes,
Which is great.
I mean, I guess you gotta watch all the films. That the scouts are gonna watch 3 or 4 games to really make an evaluation on a player. So
Well, the issue is that there aren't. When you look at these guys as a collective group, you will find 7 different people that will have them ranked 7 different ways. So they all have their idiosyncrasies. They all have their flaws that are visible. But the issue is, what you'll say, what these individuals will say is, I can correct this. This is something that I can manage.
Yeah.
Right. So my thing is with when you talk about Josh Allen, he's got a powerful arm. So the scouts are saying, well, I understand that he has some accuracy issues. I understand
Jamarcus Russell. Sorry.
Well, I understand. I hear the whole Jamarcus Russell comparison.
But then he could also be compared to Matthew Stafford as well.
Right, and that's the
just playing devil's advocate.
And that's
even
why
though I don't want him.
that's why I say if he's at 6, and most people say that he is a top 10 quarterback, with regard to a top 10 draft pick, then you got to pick him up at 6. I would rather have Rosen. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd rather have Rosen, but if he's there at 6. And that's my option. Then I'm probably picking him up.
So, I'll tell you what, though, I was playing devil's advocate by saying that Matthew Stafford also has similar coming out of college, a similar accuracy percentage. But the thing is, he played at Georgia,
and that's what I was about to say.
And this guy played in Wyoming or at Wyoming. So
the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
And listen, the last year.
The MWC.
Going back to Matthew Stafford, the last year he was with Georgia, 61.4%. And he went from 52 to 55 to 61. So he grew prior to coming out. And again, played in Georgia, which is a high-profile organization there. So
I would be really nervous about anybody coming out of college with a completion percentage under 60%.
56 to be precise.
And then you couple that with coming out of Wyoming. It's not like they had Ryan Yarborough.
We keep saying Wyoming.
Ryan Yarborough.
Where did the quarterback from?
Come on, Kyle. You got to give me that,
Kyle.
What was his name? I forgot. The Eagles. The Eagles, Carson Wentz?
Yeah, where did Carson Wentz go?
He went to North Dakota.
Right.
Yeah.
Boise
Talk
State.
About Wyoming. Come on,
North
guys.
Dakota.
Yeah, but what was
Dakota,
his completion percentage?
I understand now. I'm just addressing
He
the
probably
aspect
had
of
he
not
probably had
coming
a
out from a big
78% completion percentage.
Yeah.
They dominated too, though.
Yeah, they did.
That's the thing. It's like when you're dominating.
And then they talked about his hands. Oh, his hands are too small. I mean,
I don't mind being from a small school. Yeah. I don't mind that. But again, you
I don't either.
dominate.
That's my
point. But you got to dominate, though. I mean, I feel like it's apples and oranges with these two people that you're comparing. And 64% for his career at North Dakota State.
Yeah, I was at a clinic up in Syracuse, the New York State Coaches Association clinic, and the guys from Syracuse they used to be at Bowling Green, and then they were at Eastern Michigan before that. So they're showing all this Jimmy Garoppolo film right when Jimmy Garoppolo got the contract. And you look at it and it's like, this is
he went to
a rhythm
Illinois,
passer. Right? He went to Eastern Illinois, I think it was.
Same school that Romo went to?
It was did Romo go there? I don't know.
Romo went to some school in Illinois, some 1AA school there.
It was
too. I don't know if it's the same.
Dino Babers, who's the coach at Syracuse, he was the coach at the school that Jimmy Garoppolo was from before he was at Bowling Green. Anyway, so he's a rhythm passer with a high accuracy rate. Now, when you look at somebody like Baker Mayfield's going to have a high percentage of completions, but a lot of the completions that he throws are short passes, quick game stuff, RPOs that lend themselves to a higher completion rate because they're either open or they're not. Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing you got to factor into the Josh Allen, conversation here is if he's running a pro style offense, is he asked to make more complex reads than the other guys? But still, the completion percentage in the 50s. It's a little scary.
What's a pro style offense nowadays anyway?
Under center.
Under center?
Yeah.
And no one's under center anymore.
No.
A lot of shotgun.
Carson Wentz was for 4 years. Yeah.
He's great. I love Carson Wentz. Dang, I wish he was a Jet. Gee whiz.
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I on the same page. We have been on the same page.
We could go back in a time machine and we could do like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and stop the Jets from not picking Pat Mahomes.
So you were Pat Mahomes last year. I was heavy
O.J. Howard.
O.J. the
That
Juice
they-
Man Howard.
Did he even do anything?
Yeah, he did. That guy, Cameron Brate, started to kind of just
Didn't he
wind
get
down.
hurt? Didn't OJ
He got hurt for a little bit.
For a little
Brate
bit.
Got hurt for
Cameron
a little bit.
Brate,
Yeah.
was one of my fantasy tight ends, and he had a much better year than O.J.
And
Howard.
well, because they started Brate.
Them's fighting words.
And then, if you watch, he started to kind of weather out a little bit, and then OJ came on strong.
O.J. went to the Crimson Tide, and Cameron Brate went to just the Crimson.
Yo, Kyle,
He went to Harvard.
What
He
is
went to
that?
Harvard. Yeah.
Kyle just made you tweak me, right?
Yeah, As a matter of fact, I think we should probably move on to our peek me and tweak me segment. That would be good. Here we go. Yes, that's the music. All right, guys, we're moving on to our next segment. Our next segment is things that peak me and things that tweak me. We had a great conversation. Now we're going to talk about all of these ups and downs, all right, and what myself and my fellow co-hosts have on their mind and what's really happening out there and what's exciting them and what's really turning them off. So who wants to go first there? You know what? Let's let the asset call it. Let's throw it up there. B.
Yeah.
Here we
okay,
go.
Okay, all right.
That's a very high definition picture of
It
Kirk
is.
Cousins.
You know
It
that.
is.
Look into his eyes.
They're green.
Do you want to be the Jets quarterback? Do you really want to be?
Please, come on.
No, you can stay home. It's all right.
So my peak me, and you guys mentioned the guy earlier. It was Shaquem Griffin. Mm-hmm. Really, I mean, I saw him play in a bowl game, and I was amazed. I was like, "What? The guy has no hand." And I was watching it with Madison. I'm like, the guy has no hand out here. This is crazy. And he's sacking people. He's all over the field.
Yeah.
All over the field.
Doesn't drop picks either.
Yeah, he's got hands too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So 4, 3, 8 in the 40. So we talk about Barkley and what he did.
Yeah.
He outran Barkley.
How tall is he?
6'1",
6'1", 6'2"?
I think he's like 6'2".
Yeah.
He's 6'2".
It's not that much of a tweener. That's good height on him.
20 on the bench press.
Sweet.
Which is very sweet.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where he would fit on our team as far as where we would be able to draft him. Maybe a second rounder.
The edge. He could
The
play
ed-
the edge
He could
guy.
play the edge, right? We've been talking, and this is what kind of I feel bad, and I can't blame NFL teams or whatever because he has a degenerative disease.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look at that, and you look at the history, health and medical history or whatever for all of the players. But it's a shame that this guy, if he had two hands, we'd be talking about a first-round draft pick. He'd be talking about him being a linebacker or edge guy. And now they have him talking about, I was looking at ESPN or this or that, and they're like, oh, he can play special teams and blah, blah, blah. The dude was an All-American,
Yeah.
sacking everybody.
They just don't know what to do with him yet. So he needs to continue wearing that same coat of armor that he's had to kind of allow him to push through and get this far. Mm-hmm. And now, you know what? Hit the reset button. It's time to do it again in the NFL because we have a whole brand new set of eyes looking at me right now, and I need to do it again. And I'm rooting for this kid big time.
Absolutely.
And I really think that just stay faithful, stay confident, and I'm sure he is, and just go out there and knock some heads off, man, and we'll see. We'll see what's up, and then you're going to get that big $10 million a year contract or something like that.
I think he needs the right defensive fit too. Like I don't think the Jets, like with the assets that we have right now, like the Darren Lees and the Jamal Adams and May, I don't know where. And if you get a guy like Matthew, I don't know where he would fit in that. The way that our defense works.
You couldn't put him outside linebacker?
Well, I mean, we have. He would play the same position as Darren Lee.
Darren Lee's inside now.
He has a weak side inside.
Weak side inside, right?
So then it would be your strong side outside, which is played by Jenkins, and then we're still missing that pass rushing one.
That's what I'm saying.
We still have Molden.
Why can't we throw this guy in the mix for that?
Jenkins is
Because you're not going to
be more of a hand in the ground guy.
You're not going to use a 1
He's
to
the one
3
that's going to
round
be setting the edge on the
draft
runs.
pick on
He's
him.
like
It's
Calvin
gonna be like a
Pace,
4th, 5th,
Calvin
or 6th
Pace,
round
like the
draft
edge.
pick on him.
Yeah.
But again, you're taking a risk with any drafted player anyway, right? Because you don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. College is totally different from the pros, and I get all of that. You can't coach 4-3-8. You
understand
cannot
Yeah.
coach 4-3-8. You can't coach somebody that knows how to get to the football. And we have 2 second-round picks, and we
We're
get.
not picking him in the second
I
round.
would.
It's not gonna happen.
All I'm saying is I would.
Somebody is going to.
Somebody's going to take a
pick
chance
him
on this
before
kid.
the third round. I'll tell
Yes,
you. that.
absolutely.
I
think
guarantee
so?
you he will not be picked before the third round.
Let's bet.
I think he's probably going to get picked in the third. I don't think.
I think he
I
gets,
don't see him going in the second.
I think he gets picked in the second.
No.
But anyway, it kind of is what it is, right?
I'm with Brian on this.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So we can run the tape back, and then we'll see when the draft comes. We'll see
I
what ends up.
I don't think he's going to be in those first 32 picks for sure.
No.
Definitely not. No.
I think that in 64 picks, yeah, I think that he's going to be in.
I think so too. In 64, what's that? 3 rounds? I think
2.
he'll go in.
That's two.
Oh,
That's the first
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm saying
think so.
third. I'm saying
Yeah.
third or fourth round.
He's going to go
At
with
the
the
highest.
65th pick in the NFL draft, in the 2018 NFL draft.
And I'm
All right,
going
well, you agree with Kerry?
I agree with Kerry.
All right, so I say that the bet is Carmine's
All right.
family style Italian food.
Oh.
If he goes before the 64th pick,
All right.
We pay. If not,
and we have
you
to
pay.
factor in compensatory draft picks.
Oh
and all
Okay.
my
that
gosh!
stuff. All right.
So then,
And
where do you want to
trades.
eat?
I can do Carmine.
No, I say we do Carmine's. It's a free shout out to Carmine's.
Okay.
It's family style.
Yeah.
Right.
We are voracious eaters.
Yes.
Well, the three of you are.
It's
I don't care how much
then
you
one
eat.
of the bunch,
If you're
huh?
paying, I don't care how much you eat.
Yeah.
eat like a boy. I don't care.
And if we're right,
I'll drink my
we're going to
calories.
Pace's
Right.
Steakhouse out there in Haw Park.
No, it's got to be like an equal thing. It can't be
right.
We're gonna
We pay $500.
No, we can both. We can both do Carmine's. We
Yeah,
can both do
Carmine's?
Carmine's.
All right,
we can handle
bet.
Carmine's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we'll go to Sal's Wander Inn. Is that still around?
Funny.
Where?
The Wander Inn on
Wandering
Grand Avenue.
It closed.
It
Wandering is
closed.
done.
It just
Yeah.
Gotta
closed
go-
like a few
What about
months
the
ago.
old? What about the old Venice?
Baldwin
no,
Coach,
that's on-
baby.
that's on
Gotta go to
Merrick?
Baldwin
Oh,
Coach.
Merrick Grove.
Yeah, that's still open.
Not going to Baldwin Coach
Actually,
Diner.
Venice is good.
Why-
Oh,
Baldwin
Baldwin
Coach, baby.
haven't updated the booths. Man.
Hey, Baldwin Coach Diner is a good diner.
It's a
and
good-
Barbara Dornellis is watching this podcast right now.
Sorry,
too.
Barb.
That's the
Hey, the best gravy and fries ever, though.
cheese fries with the
Yeah,
gravy
yeah.
on top.
With the gravy.
There was a waiter there named Victor that me and Jay
still there.
Verhadas.
Yeah.
Still there.
No, he's
Yeah,
can't be
he's
still
there,
alive.
yeah,
Can't
he's
Or
still
how
be
about this? We get
He might own it.
breakfast and we go to what's that deli over there? And it's right next to Touch of Italy, which is really good food over there too. The deli
Oh,
over
I go
there.
all the time.
the Hastings.
Dag on
Keep
it.
talking and I'll tell you. Herrings.
Herrings. We can go to Herrings and get the fresh made omelets right there.
Every
Woo!
Saturday, $7.95.
Yes.
$7.95. Anything you want in it. You can have 3 meats.
There's the egg sandwich on Atlantic Avenue in Freeport. The deli that's right by Calmetto
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah.
They have the sandwich called the triple mess.
Triple
Oh.
mess. Yeah.
Oh.
That's all the meats.
All them
It's like Arby's. They have the meats.
We have the
Yeah.
meats.
Yeah. Salt, pepper, ketchup.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Well, I want to do the peaks and tweaks.
I don't think he's done yet, right?
I just didn't do my tweak me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So my tweak me, I think we kind of touched upon that earlier too, man. It's picking 6, man. Yo, it's really killing me. I just feel like it's a Steph Curry moment that we're gonna come in
Oh, Lord.
and then somebody's gonna be drafted. I'm sorry. Like we just should have gone 0-16.
Who did the Knicks get the year that Steph Curry was? Jordan Hill?
Yes.
Oh my God!
By the way, the deli's name, it's Ferring. Ferring. That's
Ferring.
Not herring, not herring.
herring.
Right.
Ferring. Yes.
Al Solo
Herring
has
Ball.
become our fact checker.
Yes. Yeah. He's a Baldwin. He's a true Baldwinite.
Yeah.
Love it, Al. Love it.
He knows it.
So
Yeah.
again, I just picking 6, and the thought of missing out on the player that we ultimately would want, and he ends up playing on some other team and killing us. It would kill me. So that's all. That's really my tweak me at the end of the day.
See, now so that's my peak me. The fact that we are picking 6 and we have options. So I'm looking at the opposite side of it, half glass, half full type thing. When you're 6, yeah, there are going to be some picks that are ahead of you that may pan out or they may not pan out.
Sure.
Again,
Crapshoot.
these 4 quarterbacks are really, nobody has them ranked the same way. So
No, it's really musical chairs.
it's
when it
musical
comes down.
chairs. So, maybe we research it properly and make a good pick, and I'm hoping that McCagnon, and
That's
whoever
where
else
you
he's
lost me.
got.
That's where
okay,
you lost me.
well,
Jeremy
That's where you lost me.
again. So again, we're not the ones that are picking.
He's
So I'm
lamenting
hoping-
every time he
I'm a
hears the word
lamenter.
McCann. He's a
I'm hoping that I like having options. Just how I'm built.
Sure.
I like having options, and if we are to sign Cousins, then my route would be to pick up at the number 6 pick. It would be to pick up Quentin. Notre Dame.
OG.
Guard,
Offensive
and
guard.
then pick another offensive lineman in the beginning of the second round. And if we don't get Cousins, then I say maybe we can trade back, maybe we don't, but maybe we still pick up Quentin, at 6 or Chubb. If somebody else trades with Indy, since they are the ones that
that don't need a
predicted
QB.
to pick him up.
And
Yeah. And then maybe trade back in and get Lamar with one of those 2 second-round picks.
I'm really interested to see
know what
how
I mean?
much Teddy Bridgewater and the like are going to cost. Once Cousins sets the market.
Right.
I
What
think
the-
Teddy
what-
might end up costing like 10 a year.
They were talking 12 to 15.
For Teddy?
You think you're getting him at TJ Maxx prices? Talking about
Right. Nah.
12 to 15 is already 50% off.
I
Now
would
you
definitely
wanted to,
sign
like,
on 12. I would sign on 12 for 3. I'd sign on 12 for 3.
Nah, not 12 for 3. It's
12
12
for
per
2.
year.
Oh, we
12 for
paid.
2.
What did we
No,
pay?
12 per.
Paid
For
Ryan
a 3.
Fitzpatrick
I'm just saying.
I don't want to do
$15
three.
million a couple
I'll do
years
2.
ago.
He's
Yeah,
still
you're right.
young. He's still young. He's not gonna sign for less than a 3-year deal. He's young.
He wants probably a prove-it deal. He wants to probably do that because then after the 2 years, he can re-up for the 25 to 30 or whatever else.
And that's why I said, okay, then I would do that and keep him in-house. If that's the case, then we can keep him in-house.
And that means we would have to get someone like a McCown who we're going to get a 1-year deal on as well. So we're going to be like the Vikings next year with
Right.
all of our quarterbacks on 1-year deals unless we happen to draft one.
We'll go back to
Gotta
what we,
draft one if that's the scenario.
Exactly.
what we were talking about with McCown. Like I'm warming up to the idea of bringing McCown back at the third quarterback.
You know what?
Not at the second quarterback.
We've always been
far
saying that, though,
left
Kyle.
with McCown.
He threw
to
him in the
now you
bathroom.
are right here with
He
him.
wants to put him in the
You are a
bathroom.
cheerleader
He
for
was throwing him in
McCown
the
right now.
bathroom.
Compared to what he was saying. I want him to coach my team. I don't want him on playing on my roster.
I do not want him as the starting quarterback on our team, man. That's like just such a.
Kyle, hey, guys, get that toilet flush button ready because Kyle, you still want to throw him in the bathroom?
Circling the bowl. Circling the bowl.
Yeah. He's ready to bring him to Carmine's now.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, invite McCown.
Go get
He's
this
coming
guy.
to
Go get
Carmine's
that
with us.
guy.
Hey, I'm
He
gonna
can
go to
run my
Carmine's.
offense. He
We're
can
gonna-
run my offense.
He's going to be Jeremy Bates' assistant coach and be like, a very transitional role.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good guy.
So
Love
to go
him.
so to
Good guy.
finish up mine, my tweak is Mo Wilkerson, and the whole ordeal with that, and the Manish Mehta story, and the fact that we gave up 2 guys and signed this guy, and he dogged it for the first year. Actually, he was hurt for the first year of that contract. The second year of that contract, I think he dogged it, and the fact that Snacks is on the other side of the table bothers me.
Yes.
Let's pull up Muhammad Wilkerson, number 96 in the green uniform.
So that's where I am with my tweak, guys, this week.
So tweak with Muhammad. All right.
Absolutely. And I was his cheerleader with the pom poms, saying we got to sign this dude right behind Brandon because Brandon was first. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I think we were
Who's
all
first
very
No.
happy with him.
No,
do you mean? No, what?
No, I was not happy with this guy.
I said Brandon.
Right,
I said
right.
Brandon. I said
Yeah.
Brian.
Three,
you mean-
3 out of 4.
oh, you mean
I clearly
keeping
was
him?
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Signing
did.
him. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Snacks.
I did want to keep him over Snacks, and you know what, guys? I made a mistake. How about that? But
I want to keep
his
him
all
all.
right. You know what? Since you just said he tweaked you, actually, if I may jump in, this whole thing actually kind of piques me a little bit. And the reason why I'm saying it piques me that we did let him go. Okay? It piques me that the Jets made that decision to loosen up the cap, just to get more cap money and to be able to pursue unhindered other free agents, et cetera, and to sign our draft picks. But the reason why I don't wish him any ill will or anything, I think he did dog it the last year or two, but also the first 3 years, he played his butt off, man. He played his butt off. He made the Pro Bowl twice, I believe. I think he was a second-team All-Pro as well. So something happened. I don't know if it was when he broke his ankle and he lost the little whatever it is. I don't know what happened. Or maybe it is true that the culture of the losing kind of started getting to him. But I don't understand how that would get to him. He went to Temple. It's not like they were, like a renowned football team historically. But the fact that we got rid of him does pique me, but not got rid of him in the sense of he is a bad person. And,
No,
or anything like that.
Nobody's saying that.
No. And I'm not saying any of us are saying that at all. But, there are people out there that are like, get rid of him. He's a this and that. He's a malcontent. He's a this and that. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because let's roll it to the next guy, please. The tweak me part of this is this guy right here, Manish Mehta, and he's a reporter. And it really bothers me the fact that he chose now, the time of free agency, to kind of like assassinate Muhammad Wilkerson's character by basically putting out there and accusing him of being an alcoholic and starting that whole conversation going where it was unwarranted. He doesn't have a DWI. He's never been, from what we know, suspended for anything that had to do with alcohol.
Substance.
And then, for any substance stuff. And now you're putting it out into the ether that he's an alcoholic. And then it's free agency. He's out there shopping himself right now.
Now he's got to address that to every team that he goes to see.
Now I'm happy to see him go, but I would never want to damage this man's character, especially when it's unwarranted. So
Absolutely.
He tweaks me right now, and I don't want this face looking at this face when I'm rolling my dice. Put him in the bedroom.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yeah, we're going with that. Bronx Tale style. I just threw him in the back. We got a toilet noise. We're going to flush this guy down the toilet a little bit. There we go. Yeah, he just went down. All righty. Wait, hold on. Do it again. The toilet's clogged up. All right.
Oh, boy.
It didn't go all the way down.
Now you're going to have a mess with some bees and chunks.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting though. Like this guy knows exactly what defamation means and what when you slander somebody means, especially when you're a journalist and you go out there like that. I wonder where's the in between the truth and the character assassination, because like you said, you even prefaced it by saying something happened.
Right.
Something happened where he was, in my eyes, the perfect teammate, a leader, the guy in the room that I wanted to sign long term, more so than Sheldon, because Sheldon was in the Bentley, getting pulled over by the cops.
Same here.
And so I thought that's a better option if they're both equal.
And his resume was a great resume up until that point too. So
Exactly.
that's why I wanted.
Clean.
And you knew that somebody was going to have to go because you couldn't keep all those high-paid guys on the D line. Yeah. So, and then you bring in Leonard Williams at the same time. So, I'm just super disappointed, and I don't know where the in between is there.
And that's
there is no evidence of that.
I just feel like my issue at this point is that signing destroyed our D line. That one signing destroyed our D line because we chose the wrong person. We got rid of Snacks at that point in time. We end up with Sheldon, on the outskirts or whatever else, and then he ends up leaving the team. And what do we have right now? Leonard Williams. That's all we have, and that's
it's a good thing we picked him.
Huh?
It's a good thing we picked Leonard Williams.
Yeah, absolutely. And but he has nobody there to partner with, so he's going to get double teams.
Yes,
it
was.
That was at 6.
Oh.
Yeah, but that was a talented 6, and
Again,
and
he wasn't a Dwayne Robertson
available.
6?
4.
Dwayne Robertson was 4. Yeah.
Out of Kentucky.
What if Chubb is sitting there at 6? What you going to do?
Chubb?
Bradley Chubb.
The pass rusher?
I'm picking the guard.
I'd take him.
I'm picking the guard.
I mean, if the guard's not there.
Totally.
Picking the guard.
Totally picking the guard.
Yeah, if the guard is not there, I'll pick Chubb. But I'm going with the guard first. I'm going offense first. I'm tired of picking all these defensive players.
Absolutely.
I'm going O first.
You're going offensive line, huh?
Yeah, I'll go O-line or quarterback or whatever.
Sounds good to me.
Live by the O, die by the
Deja
O.
vu, baby.
So your tweak me and your peak me was the same thing?
It was the same thing. Basically,
But two different people.
yeah, two different people.
angles.
Like I'm happy to see Muhammad go, but it's also like I'm happy to see him go, but I'm going to wish him well. I'm not going to, throw out there what Manish Mehta is saying about him drinking and stuff because there's no evidence like what you were saying about that.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're not. I feel like it's morally and it's like morally and ethically wrong to do that, especially when you know it's free agent time. So you're going to throw this dirt on him right now? Because I bet you if the Jets decided to keep him, this story wouldn't be coming out.
But are you annoyed? Let's say this. Let's say he goes to the Packers or Detroit or wherever else.
Saints.
And then he comes up and has a year, 12.5 sacks, and
Yeah.
he looks like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Would that annoy you even more? Because it
Absolutely
annoys
not.
me now.
Absolutely
of course,
not.
it would annoy. It would very much so annoy me because that means that you really mailed it in. It's one thing to think that it happened and think that there's a backstory behind it and whatever, but another thing to all of a sudden, you lead the Jets, you get all of this money from them, and now you know what? I think I'll play football again.
He was so outspoken about
Yeah.
like they won't pay me. They, when
Right.
when his leg was
Right.
broken,
Right.
and like they're not doing this for me. I've done all this for them.
I hear you.
And then as
Bomb.
soon as he got the money, it was the problem.
I hear that, and I don't disagree with any of that, and that's why I said I'm happy to see him go. But it's compounding the issue when you put out a false narrative or a narrative out there that has.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that.
That's
I'm with you on
that's
that.
not evidence based. Okay, about alcoholism. That's pretty big, because you have people who have different types of dispositions. Some people dog it a little bit more. Some people have a greater work ethic. Some people work for everything that they have. Some people, things come to them just a little bit more easily because of natural talent or what have you.
Yeah.
But let the universe handle that. But the whole throwing out there, he's never been caught with a DUI or substance or anything like that. Now you're really trying to assassinate this man's character. This guy has a family to take care of, and now you're going to just outwardly put that out there and try to throw him under the bus and affect his long-term
Livelihood.
Mm-hmm. And then and then I guarantee you that if we happen to say, you know what, we're going to keep Muhammad Wilkerson, I don't think he would have said it. I don't think that he would have timed it like this. It probably would have come out a different time, or maybe never at all.
So what I'm getting from what you're saying is that whether it's true or not is not the big issue. The big issue you have with Manny Shmeta is the way in which he's operating with this information.
No, it's
And
not
the
true.
timing.
It's not true or not. Truth is truth. So I value that more than anything. But it's the way that he did it, and what is it? It's not. We don't know.
So do you think
It's not
Will you
evidence-based.
still think he's wrong if it comes out that that
That it's right.
that it's true?
I
Because that
would-
might happen.
If it is true, then I will eat crow. But also, he's putting it out now, and there's no evidence of it.
I have more of an issue of the
Well,
way
he has all the evidence.
the way that it was done. Like he said, I think the tweet said something like, "Oh, this guy's out on Bourbon Street. Who's handling this guy, knowing that he has these issues?"
Yeah.
That's
Players-
that's
It's none of
the
your
only
business,
thing that
man.
was
You
really
know,
put out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Doing it like that to your point, Kyle. I was like, come on, man. What
Well,
are you talking about?
the mom says that she has that he has an agenda against her son. Like she came on the Fan,
Right.
and said, "I didn't hear it, but I read about it. This guy has always had it out for him, and that's a mom defending her kid.
Yep.
But it doesn't sound like it's the last we're going to hear of it.
Maybe not. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Yeah. So
Well, this just in.
it's good timing though. This just in what?
Jets, Titans, Colts in on Deion Lewis. How do we feel about that?
I'll take Dion. I mean, there's no more Matt Forte, but it looks like we're gonna have three backs of the same caliber of skill. But
He can run in between the tackles
But
better
Deion-
than I think the other two.
think so?
He
Yeah.
can catch the ball.
Wait,
well,
where's
too.
Deion Lewis from?
New England.
Pats.
New England. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not new. They were talking about that last week too.
Yeah. He's always
And
been being considered. Or has been
Seahawks and
considered.
Falcons are very interested in Austin Seferian Jenkins.
Well, then you know what? Get Trey Burton. I love that kid, Trey Burton.
Trey.
Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else? Anything else, gentlemen?
I think I haven't done my tweak and peek yet.
Let's
That's
do
right.
it.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's go for
So we can throw up that Robbie Anderson, Chris Carter
it. Yep.
thing here.
Let's get that Robbie Anderson, Chris Carter. Yeah.
So as I was telling you guys earlier, I've been enjoying the Unsolved show.
There we go.
Featuring the mysteries of Biggie and Tupac, and the detective work that was done there by Russell Poole and others. So they're trying to connect all these dots on the murders. So I kind of, when I saw this whole Twitter beef between Robbie Anderson and Chris Carter, I kind of tried to do a little digging and see what I could find out. So
Oh, okay.
the original tweet that was deleted that started this whole thing. Robbie Anderson tweeted out, it's expletive ridden, so we can't really throw it out there. I know my son Laszlo and Phoebe are listening to this. I don't want to throw out the bad words. But the
Not on this show.
Not on this show.
No.
But the long and the short of it says that he was throwing that Chris Carter's been throwing shade on him since Little League. So I was like, since Little League. So looking, sourcing it out on the internet, it seems as though Chris Carter's son, Duran,
Oh, okay, I remember.
and Robbie Anderson are 2 years apart from each other, and are both grew up and came up playing football in Southern Florida.
Okay.
Robbie Anderson went to Plantation High School, and Carter went to St. Thomas Aquinas, which is one of the best schools football wise.
Plantations in Fort Lauderdale, no?
Yeah, and St. Thomas Aquinas is in Fort Lauderdale too. I
It's a
think.
high school powerhouse. I played with somebody that went to St. Thomas Aquinas.
STA, coached by Roger Harriet, who's a former BU Terrier. Anyway, so I have a feeling that they may have played Little League football together, and that this beef may go back to Chris Carter, bigging up his son rather than Robbie, and that now if you look at Duran Carter's career, he's currently playing in the CFL.
CFL, yeah.
Is he flourishing in the CFL?
I think he's doing okay.
Doesn't matter. You're in the CFL.
He's had some.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
New York Jets, CFL.
But he was an undrafted free agent.
So was he.
No, I'm saying
Okay.
he worked to
Right.
get where he is. It's
I'm-
not like anything was given to him. He went
No
to
offense,
Temple.
CFL
He wasn't
in
drafted.
general.
Yeah.
However,
It
it's
wasn't like
not.
he had a silver spoon in his mouth. That's the
New
point
York
that I'm
Jets.
making.
Sure.
And he doesn't have a pedigree. It's not like his father is Chris
Right.
Carter.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Can we have a guest from the CFL come on the show? Not anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
Doug Flutie's going to be waiting
Oh
outside
my
to fight him.
goodness. Yeah, he's gonna punch one
He's
of us in
going
the
to
face.
he's going to hit him with the Grey Cup.
He's gonna beat up Brian over there. I'm out.
So it seems as though, like, if you look at the history of Duran Carter in the college and the league, he played at Ohio State, academically ineligible, had to go to Coffeyville in Kansas, I believe it is. It's a junior college there. Then wound up going to Alabama and not ever really seeing the field at Alabama, and then going to Florida Atlantic, and then not getting his eligibility petition, according to what I read on the internet.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is pure speculation, but it seems as though
You think Chris Carter's hating?
now Chris Carter did not say anything on the record that anybody can find to
I
like.
thought it was a tweet.
No, well,
No,
Robbie Anderson
tweeted.
but don't know.
What his source was. What was Robbie Anderson's source?
No, well, Robbie Anderson deleted it like 2 minutes or 3 minutes after. he
Right, but what
posted
was
it.
his source that he read that was precipitated him writing that response?
I mean, it could be a source he read. It could be like
It could have
a
been
feedback.
dialogue or
Yeah.
something like that. Because
Somebody
it looks
said,
like there's
"Oh."
past history if he's known him since.
if he's
Pop
known him
Warner.
since, we still don't know if he, if
Pure
that-
speculation.
This is all speculative.
Yeah.
However, no one. I haven't seen anybody else speculate on this, so I think we might be breaking this speculation.
No, me,
here.
not we, you. We ain't French.
Either way,
We don't want any more lamentation here.
Lament.
Kyle Meta.
Conan, what is the meaning of life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, hear the lamentation of their women.
we will see. We'll see if anything comes of this. But this actually, it was like a tweak me that Robbie Anderson was, up to, something again that was getting bad press.
Yeah.
But then it turned into a peak me because I started looking into it.
Do
But
some research.
Yeah.
yeah, well, it seems as though that Duran Carter has not always been the greatest teammate. That's what.
Well, he was
that's
not on
what-
the team long enough to be a teammate.
No, we're talking about like the quote that I saw was from the quarterback, I guess, at Coffeyville. But who knows? Maybe this is a beef that goes all the way back to the Pop Warner.
Maybe
Sure.
so. Maybe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson might have a point though because he is on the Jets, and like Brian said, Ron Carter is.
Well, he earned that.
CFL.
He definitely earned
And
that.
Brian doesn't want anybody from the CFL calling in or anything like that to the show. So
Isn't that
he told me that.
Cameron Wake on the Dolphins was from the CFL,
Yeah,
right?
Really?
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. He's a beast.
Sorry, Cameron.
Doug Flutie.
Yeah,
Warren Moon.
yeah.
Warren Moon.
Yeah,
Beast.
yeah.
I can take Warren. He's an old
I
name.
met
that
Warren Moon
dude.
once. I met him once. Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
yeah. He's taller than you think. Yeah, he's taller than me. Man,
Right, because you're a giant.
I mean, I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1" and change. How's that whooping cough doing over there? You all right? All righty, folks. Hey,
Wow.
thanks for joining us for this week's edition of BKBK Podcast.
Damn.
And thanks again for all the views. So keep watching. We want to be able to keep bringing you the latest news and viewpoints
That's right.
of where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. You can find us on Facebook on your BKBK Podcast fan page, as well as on YouTube. Just type in BKBK Podcast. Hit like and subscribe and show us some love. I also want to say thanks to our sponsor, Summit 68, for housing and filming BKBK Podcast. You can go to summit68.com for all of your professional and private studio needs. That's it. And let's go BKBK. Let's go Baldwin Bruins. And let's go Jets.